How are you guys? Happy Halloween. We're here to watch Trick or Treat. I see we've been raided by the ninth circle of hell. Uh,
Nice,
yeah. Echo Cero's here. Nanette and Jack's witching hours are here. Professor Macabro is here. I
nice,
believe Wes and Rob were threatening to drop by. So yeah, we've got an all-star studded cast of awesome villains.
nice. Wouldn't have
Yeah,
it any other way.
exactly. Let's turn that volume off. Get this going. Katie, how are you? Welcome. Let me
Katie in
see.
the
Got
house.
Queen Pop. Queen Pop. Speaking of Katie is the person who nominated me for Horror YouTuber of the Month before I came it, and I have currently nominated my buddy Larry sitting here beneath me. Horror Cat Dad is joining me tonight to watch Trick or Treat. If you would like to go vote for Horror Cat Dad on uh, for Horror YouTuber of the Month for November, you can go to my page and I don't know, maybe one of the fine people at some point will be able to post a link to that somewhere. But the point is, go vote for Larry. Is what we want here. Larry and Mayanne, or Kyle, or wait a minute, I'm off track, or Mikey
Mikey,
Ward. Yeah. So we don't want to play favorites, but tonight's guest is awesome. Just remember that. All right.
thank
We
you,
got
thank you.
yes, he is. Yeah, we got the nice crew here. Tonight we're going to be watching Trick or Treat, the modern horror classic. This was one that, like, I guess it was held back for like 2 years. It was supposed to come out, and then it kept getting bumped around and pushed around, and then ended up at film festivals and stuff. And then eventually, it just found a home on like home video and oh, look at Katie. Thank you, Katie. I knew she'd be on it as soon as I saw her in the chat. I was like, I'm taking advantage of it. Um,
Hey,
well, thank
Echo.
you, Katie.
Hey,
You're
everybody.
awesome. Yeah, Rob's here. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Um, um, oh, it was a movie that got bounced around and then didn't find traction for a while, and then once it was on cable and word of mouth and toys and all the other stuff is when people really caught on to it. You didn't watch it until recently, or well, within the last couple of years?
Actually, I didn't watch it till last year.
Oh wow.
This time last year, it was basically, yeah, it's one of those things where like I started hearing that word of mouth, and a lot of the times I feel like whenever I hear that stuff, I get like, is it really that good or is it not? And then I felt like it was getting overhyped by everybody, and then I just ended up not watching it. And then and then I started seeing the merch everywhere, and I was like, man, this, and then finally last year I was like, okay, you know what? Let me check it out. Let me try to check it out and see what all the hype is about. And sure enough, I relate to the party. I loved it, and I do love this movie. It's great.
Yeah, um I kept confusing it like most people with the 1980s version. Well, it's not a
Oh,
version,
the
it's a different
the metal
different movie called Trick or Treat.
the metal version.
Yeah, the heavy metal. There's an old sitcom called Family Ties. Is that the one? Yeah, Family Ties with Michael J. Fox. And the nerd character on there, the original Urkel, uh, ended up breaking away and doing his own horror movie. And it was like, wow, the nerd from the sitcom is in a horror movie? Neat. So this
Wow.
guy, Mark Price, Skippy from from Family Ties, uh, this was his first breakout role. So this was like kind of half popular among horror people. So then when this
Hmm.
came out, it kept getting confused with that.
Huh.
So everybody was like, "Oh, is it a remake of that old Gene Simmons one or whatever?" And they're like, "No, it's a totally different thing." So when I first watched it, I had no idea what it was. I didn't even know it was an anthology. When the story stopped and a new one started, I was like, "What in the hell is going on?"
Yeah,
So
that was pretty much. I blindly went into it. Like I said, I hadn't heard about it. A buddy of mine who's an even bigger horror fan than myself.
No such
he
thing.
it's
No such
funny. He
thing. You're up for
never.
horror YouTuber of the month. There's no such thing.
I don't know, man. No, my buddy actually, this buddy of mine, he showed me a lot of like horror movies, a lot of like obscure ones that I had never seen or anything. So it's funny how he never brought this to my attention. Because when I told him when I saw it, I was like, "Hey man, have you seen this?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, man, I love that movie." I'm late to the party, man. I was like, how come you never push this onto me like all this other stuff, you know? So no, it's a really good movie. I mean, yeah, that was. It's easy for me to remember this first experience just because I actually it was last year,
Yeah.
and going
Well,
into it again, like yourself, I didn't know it was going to be an anthology film, and then once I started picking up on that, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then you had the how all the stories started intertwining and stuff. I was like, oh man, that's great.
it's funny. Most people often refer to it as the Pulp Fiction of scary movies. That's kind of like the common like description of it. It's like, yeah, it's like Pulp Fiction except with Halloween stories. Um,
Yeah, I
I
can
was
see that.
shocked. I was shocked at how short it is. Like when I was trying to plan out
Hmm.
tonight for watching, I was like an hour and 23 minutes. So with credits, that means it's probably an hour and 17, hour and 18 tops. Like damn. But
But there's a lot in it, man. It's like
yeah,
that's how the old Universal monster movies were. When I started buying them on Blu-ray, I saw the run times on them, and I was like, really? It's only an hour and 10 minutes,
yeah. I watched
and
uh I watched
yeah,
The Wolfman the other night, and it was like an hour and six or some crap or
hmm
whatever. It was, wow, all right, awesome. In and
yeah.
out.
But it's just you don't really. But that's the thing. Like, there's so much going on in it. There's so much in it. They give you so much in that short amount of time. It's kind of like you think of all these movies now that are easily 2.5 hours, and it's like, why? It's just fluff.
Yeah. No, that's the only thing. I understand all weird movie choices that people complain about. Like I understand remakes, I understand reboots, like all that. It makes sense to me. It's like it's money. I don't understand the stretched out runtime. That's not money. It costs the theaters money because they can't show more things. And the
Hmm.
audience who buys a DVD doesn't care if their movie's an hour and a half or whatever because they can make an extended cut that's 3 hours anyways. So why, Larry? Why? I want answers.
Hey, me too, man. I mean, I won't complain about Blade Runner 2049 though. I love that movie, and that movie's almost 3 hours long. So
Well, like,
I mean,
I mean, The
I'm part
Godfather.
of the problem. I'm part of the problem
Yeah.
still. You know.
Well, there are epic movies that deserve to be 3 hours, but they also deserve to have a damn intermission in the middle, too. So don't make these big, ridiculous, sweeping epics and then expect me to sit there and hold my, not taking a leak for 3 hours because you can't tighten things up.
Right.
But back to Trick or Treat. This is tight. This is tight, I tell you.
Oh
Hour
yeah.
and 23. So yeah, we're gonna be in and out of here pretty damn quick. So let's look at the chat. We got spicy 4K action. What's up, Spicoli? Spicy's awesome. We got Anthony Chabot, who was nominated for Entertainer of the Month for November, right? For the YouTube Entertainer Month, as well as who? Or you, wait a minute. Is that you? I forget which. I'm not seeing which direction we're on. One of these directions, wherever Larry is on your screen at home. Uh, you are also nominated for Horror YouTuber of the Month for November, correct? Is that how it works with that contest? Okay.
Well, that was non-horror, so it's entertainment, I think.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I always get them flip flop. I'm horror, Rob's entertainer. You're nominated for both. You damn rascal! You're the darling of the contest circuit. Good for you.
It's just nice to be nominated, man. I don't think I'll win, but you know, it's just nice to be nominated.
It was ridiculous to me when I got nominated. I really said that out loud. I was like, well, it's really just kind of an honor to be nominated. I was like, holy shit, I'm one of those Hollywood douchebags all of a sudden. Like, it's just an honor to be nominated. Like, oh man. But no, it really was. It's like, oh, that's nice. They thought of me and my name's in the mix and people know who I am. And so that's cool. So yeah, it made me laugh. I was like, damn, I'm one of these Hollywood Oscars jerk offs now. Anyways, Anthony Chabot's here, Nanette and Jack Switching Hours here, Russell Collier, of course, Rob's Vintage Video. I saw Wes
And
was
sure.
poking around. Katie was here. Mayanne, there she is. She likes your hat. Of course she does. Mayanne loves Friday the 13th. Cheers.
Cheers. Don the Ghost and everybody in the chat.
I'm just gonna sit here and hold my beer like this.
You'll
The
definitely
whole
get
time. Be
canceled
like,
that
what
way.
is going on with that guy? What's going on with the Grand Wizard there?
You'll definitely get canceled for that.
I'm already pushing my luck so hard today. So hard. I'm right up on the boundary. I'm on the cutting edge of edge lord material for YouTube these days. Cheers, man. Spicoli wants to know what we're drinking. What you got, Larry?
I got we're not this isn't sponsored by anybody, so no names, just unnamed vodka and some Zevia.
Zivia. Oh, look at you. Fancy.
Yeah, it's basically soda but not soda. It's like yeah, it's soda that's not soda. It's not like caffeinated soda or anything like that. Like it's not dark soda.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah, it's better. It's better on the kidneys.
yeah, basically.
Yeah. I'm
You
going with
got
the. I'm watching my girlish figure. I've been eating a little bit too much late at night and all that. I was like, oh, I'm getting a little puffy around the cheeks. So I better go with some light beer. So I went with the Michelob Ultra. You know, it's a lighter calorie, lighter beer. You know, basically it's
nothing.
water is what it is. So
Yeah.
it's a beer
I
flavored water. But if I drink like 7 of them, you know, maybe we'll party. So
Wow, man, I remember when I first tried Ultra, I had like I remember being so like I was iffy about it, but then I was like 12 pack in, I was like, man, I'm not even feeling buzzed right now. I was like, this is great. I can keep drinking, you know, and not have to worry about anything.
I've been drinking all these like heavy duty beers. Uh, um, Nowadays, and they're all like high alcohol content, like 7, 8% or whatever. So this guy's like 4%. So like I said, it's like water. I'll just be hanging out. So um, let's see. For those of you wanting to watch along, this is on HBO Max or Max. Damn it, I did it again. I'm like I'm betting like 75%. I'm calling it Max these days. So although the other day I noticed when I logged in to make sure this movie was available to watch that now they have streaming sports all on there, like all the
Yeah.
TNT, TBS streaming sports. You just open up Max and it's there. So no, I guess that makes sense. They would call it Max instead of HBO Max if they're going to start having streaming sports and other stuff. Then you know it isn't just
Mhm.
HBO. So for once, it all started to make sense.
Right? I know, because you can get everything. Hey, Sean, how's it
Yeah,
going?
Sean Blue Digital. I just came from his chat. Uh, they were watching Night of the Demons. Um, So I went from the Ninth Circle, and then I stopped into Night of the Demons, and now you and I are going to watch Trick or Treat. So enjoy my
Nice.
descent into hell. Right on, Larry's the wingman on the trip to hell. I love it.
Hey, man,
So this
I'll
is
be on the
on
bus ride with you.
Data Boy, exactly the bus ride. Um, so this is on Max, but it's also, of course, available on Amazon Prime. I put the links to both of those in the description. Um, Otherwise, I believe Russell said it isn't available on Look Movie. So I don't know if you got a favorite nefarious site to check, you might want to check there. But yeah, I have both the Blu-ray and the DVD. What are you going to be watching it on, Max?
Max.
Okay, so you're a streamer as well. I will do the streaming experience as well.
The one thing I got to say before we get started, I like how it says you may also like the Pyramid. Never heard of it. Texas Chainsaw, America's scariest Halloween attractions. Freddy vs. Jason, which I saw this afternoon. Uh, Friday the 13th remake. Annabelle. Mirrors. Another Amityville remake. Jason 3, which also I saw earlier today. Uh,
Wow, you're on a mission. Good for you.
I
Good for
got
you.
I got out of work early, so I was like, okay, I gotta finish. I finished Freddy versus Jason because I was rewatching it from last weekend, and I get to finish it. So I just was going through it, man. I was like, all right, you know, like I'm gonna enjoy my afternoon off and just get ready for tonight.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Good. Yeah, I was looking at it too. I thought the you might also like might be tailored, but no, mine was the exact same movies, the exact same order.
Oh, really?
Next
That's funny.
next was Critters, Chernobyl Diaries,
Yep.
Freddy's Night Part 3.
Yep.
Yep, Dream Warriors. Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. Friday the 13th Part 2, Nightmare 2, The Descent. I didn't even know The Descent was in there. That's cool. I might have to watch that one of these nights.
The pyramid.
Yeah, The Pyramid, I
No,
don't know if I know. Have you seen The Pyramid?
never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a new one to me too.
Maybe somebody in the
Sounds like a
chat knows or seen it,
sounds like a scheme to get us to watch it.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a double feature type of thing, or another night, or it's only an hour and 30.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I might check. Isn't the other Trick or Treat available on Tubi? I think it might be.
Yeah, I think it might be.
Yeah, I think I saw it on there actually. Well, anyways, let's watch this and see how we're doing before we write checks our ass can't cash. Is that how that goes? Sure.
Right?
All right. You got yours queued up.
Yeah, I'm on the watch again. So I guess I'll start it because I'm sure they'll throw their Max logo. Yeah, like I got a commercial.
Okay. All right. I pressed play and then yeah, I paused at
Alexander.
a commercial. It's at what the we'll pause it right when the movie gets ready to start, and then we'll do a 3, 2, 1. How's that? We'll get nice and synced up.
Okay. I'm at where it says the Warner Brothers is about to like fade in. I'm at that point.
Yeah, me too. 122.15 left in the counter.
Yes.
Look at that. We're money. Um, let's see here. Russell says he has the descent. The Ice Lord is here. Thank you, Ice Lord, for gracing us with your presence. I have to talk like that around Wes. I don't talk like that around anybody in my life, but Wes, it's like, thank you, Ice Lord. Um, he immediately makes
Sounds
me a
like
heavy metal singer.
he needs to. Sounds like he would open up for Iced Earth.
Or
Just it.
actually, he was co-headlining with Ice T earlier. Rob was Gangsta with the black glasses. Yeah, so
Nice.
Rob was body counting it up. Thank you, Ice Lord. You are a personal favorite. Um, so yeah, we got everybody here. Echo Zero, Sean Blue Digital. Man said she was going to rent this movie. I feel terrible. I think I remembered her having Max, but then I think she got rid of it. That's everybody's like me. It's like you turn them on for a while, you turn them off, you turn them on. You know what I mean? I've the only one I never really turn off is Netflix. Well, Prime because I need Prime for other stuff. The Prime comes with what I get Prime for.
Right.
It's a throw in. But Netflix is like the one I'm most loyal to. But I've had Disney and Hulu and Shudder and a bunch of them. They just come and go. I don't know. ESPN Plus. I was like, all right, whatever. Paramount Plus, Peacock. I had them all for a while. Peacock was better than I thought it would be. But
Yeah.
um,
I just don't like the fact that they what was it like when I discovered Peacock? There was one year they had like mostly all the Universal Monster movies. The
mhm.
Prime lineup, but they had like Frankenstein behind paywall. Like they had select ones behind a paywall, which didn't make sense to me because I could watch Dracula, I could watch Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon. For whatever reason, I could even watch Bride of Frankenstein, but
Hmm.
the first Frankenstein was behind a paywall. Like you had to be an elevated member or whatever. I used to really like Crackle a lot. Crackle was really good for a long time.
Yeah, Crackle was my I was about to say my backdoor jam. I never mind. Rewind. No. um, same with are you familiar with Shout Factory? Like
Hmm.
they're a free streaming service. I think all the
Hmm.
Shout Factory stuff is actually on Tubi. Like sometimes you'll
Hmm.
click on a Tubi thing, it'll say Shout Factory. I think it's on Prime too. Shout Factory's everywhere. It's a venereal disease. Every website is caught. But
See,
yeah,
Sean has
Crackle.
heard of Crackle.
Crackle, I think, is still around, but it's just not as good, right? Like I
Yeah,
went there one time.
it is. It was. Yeah, it's still around. I don't go to it too much anymore because Tubi, man, Tubi's great. And
Oh,
then
Tubi steamrolled everybody in the
yeah,
non-pay game. Tubi dominates the field. Yeah, for sure.
and then I recently got a Scream Factory. No, not Scream Factory. Screambox. I got that one,
Oh,
and
Screenbox. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Screambox is pretty good. I
Is
actually got that one. Excuse me. I got that one for because they had exclusive Subspecies 5, and I wanted to watch it again. And then when I saw how, and then
I love that. That's all it took. It was like, all right, I'm headed there.
yeah,
As if I didn't get Shudder because of the Creep Show series. That's the whole reason I bought Shudder. I was like, I'll take it. So,
well, I got Shutter for Joe Bob. And then like I noticed like the only times I'd really watch it is when Joe Bob was on, or I'd watch it for the documentaries because they really had some great documentaries.
I canceled it, and like 2 weeks later is when they brought Joe Bob on. I straight up gave my phone the finger. I was like, "Screw you, Joe Bob." That's like the main thing that would have kept me on there, and I wasn't gonna re-sign up. I'd already like put my foot in the ground, like no Shutter.
Well,
So yeah.
once I got Screenbox, I canceled Shutter because I was like, well, I don't really watch it too much, you know. And then
Hmm.
plus Screenbox is like cheaper and it's got a lot of good stuff on it. I was like, well, all right, well, I'm fine with this, you know. And I don't know, but I had just already renewed for the year, so I still have it. Technically, I can still use it for another year until next May.
Oh
So
wow.
if something comes up, yeah, like I had literally it had just auto renewed and then I had canceled, so I still have it for a year, so I could still watch stuff on it.
Oh okay, that's
But
cool.
anyway, back to I
Shall we? Shall
digress.
we? Shall we trick or treat it up?
Yes,
Should we?
sir.
Should we get her going? All right, guys. Um, Cream Factory is indeed an STD. Ice Lord agrees with me. Nanette still watches Crackle. Mayan's a big fan of Shudder. If you want to watch shows from Shudder, you can get everything through AMC Plus. Yeah, I had heard of that as well. That's the kind of mixture. So yeah, I think we should probably get started with trick or treat and then see where we're at in life after that. Look at you, you're ready for trick or treat. God damn it! Cheers, brother. You don't have to have another one, but yeah, just
Oh no, it's all right.
it's only an hour and 22 minutes. Go ahead and pound them.
Exactly.
All right. Should we do the old 3, 2, 1?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Let's go with a 3, a 2, a 1. Damn it. I said start. There we go. Thank you. This is a Warner Brothers movie. We were talking about it before. They leased it out to other channels right before Halloween. Ah, I didn't even see you had Sam waiting for me. Look at you. We have the spooky eyes. That was a double. That was a Halloween treat. we we were talking before about how it wasn't around anywhere, and then I think it was behind. Was it maybe on AMC Plus or somewhere? It was somewhere we couldn't watch it, and then it came
Yeah.
back like Halloween Day. Or October 1st. It showed back up.
The crazy thing is I remember this movie being on Netflix forever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I remember it being on Netflix for a good long time and I was like, "Oh, it's that Trick or Treat movie." And I never saw it. And then finally like last year I was like, "Okay, well, I want to see it." I couldn't find it anywhere. So then I acquired it and digitally
Sometimes you got to acquire.
and
I've
yeah.
acquired. Yeah. So yeah, they're starting off with the family with the all the pumpkins in the yard, and they take down everything too early.
Well,
The
to
the
be
theory.
clear, the wife takes down everything too early.
Yeah, she's a hater. She's
Yeah,
uh
she's
she's
a
real
hater.
Brie Larson vibes. Um,
And nobody likes her, right?
no, that's. I mean, when I see her hair's all pulled back tight with, it's like looks like she just came from the gym. It's like, damn it, Brie. Um, but the movie itself is supposed to be. people who, well, at least according to the description, that people who break Halloween traditions end up like getting attacked by Sam. Like they, so I was unaware that taking down Halloween stuff before midnight on the 31st was some sort of rule. I didn't know that was a thing, or that you were supposed to not blow out the jack-o'-lanterns at night. Like I didn't know these were rules I was breaking. I think I might be in trouble myself.
So then let me ask you this though. Like I don't do the whole light the jack o' lantern thing. I don't do that. So does that
Mhm.
mean I'm breaking? Am I actually breaking the rule because I didn't actually set it up? I mean, the decorations we don't take them down till like maybe a week or two after Halloween, but the jack o'
Dude.
lanterns we don't do. So it's kind of like that Gremlins rule where like don't feed them after midnight. Well, how does that apply if you're in another time zone? You
Yeah,
know what
if
I
the
mean?
time zone changes or something, yeah.
It's kind of
Um,
like
well, more importantly, like how do you handle your pumpkin stitch? Are you painting them? Are you drawing on them? Do you just not fox with pumpkins at all? Like what's your pumpkin deal?
no, we just have the the fake pumpkins, nothing, just plain, and we just have them decorative around the house and stuff like that. Um, my thing is, I mean, I have all the prints and stuff like that, so that comes out of the man
Pumpkin.
cave. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That
the
comes out of
pumpkins.
yeah. The prints
The
and stuff. They
pumpkin.
actually leave the man cave and they infect the rest of the house. So,
Oh, you Halloween it up. All right, that's cool.
well, that's when it's allowed out of the man cave.
There's strict rules about where horror may spread throughout the dwelling.
Yeah.
So here's your classic Michael Myers bit of business with the person across the street just like stalking. Like the first time I saw this, I was like, "Oh, they're doing all the tropes right off the start." Like we got the creepy ghosts, crucifix monsters. We got the guy next door, the stalker across the street.
Hmm.
You keep expecting one of these ghosts to be a grabber. Like there's a lot of tension there.
I just find it strange how that guy was like just standing there staring. You know, like it's weird how like
Well,
why would he be doing that if he was just like waiting for his friends? Because he just like, oh, they're here. You know.
but it's also that mask, like that faceless mask. Even if he's kind of looking off to the left, it just sort of looks like he's blankly staring. Like even this kind of like if I'm watching this way, like it, you know, it I think the faceless mask like Scream kind of added to the effect of it. So here
The
she's being attacked.
the purge mask.
Oh man, little Sam with that damn just there's so much even now. I never noticed before that little orange look at Sam. Yeah, there it is. A little killer lollipop. I never noticed before the guy gets picked up in that orange VW bug and it looks just like a little pumpkin when it rolls by. Like there's all
I
these
never
little
noticed
like
that either.
cool image. Yeah, I mean, but Ray jumped out at me this time after like my fifth viewing.
2007 was, and that guy was watching VHS.
Well, I
2007.
question that though, because it's the release date is 2007, but it makes me think that uh it bounced around for a couple of years. So does that mean it really didn't catch on till like 2009? Or is 2007 when it finally caught on and it was out in 2005?
That might be true because the same thing sort of happened with Boondock Saints, right? Like it was filmed for like a couple of years, right? And then it finally like got picked up by Miramax and it got released like in 2000 or something, if I'm
Yeah,
remembering
it bounced.
correctly.
A lot of times, yeah, these things get bounced around from distributor and they lose financing, they gain financing, they, lose foreign distribution, all that crap. So it's
Here it
possible that
comes.
this just had some sort of weird reshuffling of like whoever was in charge of Warner Brothers at the time came in, somebody else went out, it went on the shelf until, it just here, put this out because it's not doing us any good on a shelf. Wow, that's what you get for being mean. That was very
Right?
creep show. I like that. See, that's a nice tribute. We've already had a Michael Myers tribute, a sort of a Scream, a little bit, not much, but a straight up a creep show reference. So they're paying homage right up front.
Well, I was gonna say, I know Sean, he's in the chat right now. Sean actually brought this to my attention how they were going to release this in the theater, but then they pulled it like last minute.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
That's that's what made me think it might have been some sort of change in like corporate structure, because those people like to reshuffle movies that come out to, like how it just happened with the Batwoman thing or whatever. People come in and they rechange the slate because they can adjust their money that way.
mhm.
We got Mikey. We got Mikey's Morgue in the chat. He was hoping I'd be Sam. Sorry, Mikey. I didn't have any. I couldn't sit here with a burlap sack on my head the whole time. This alone was hard. I don't know how crackers do it. This is ridiculous.
And then it'd be one of those things where like, was he, Jason from like Friday the 13th Part 2, or is he Sam? You know,
Yeah, exactly. Is this Dark Knight of the Scarecrow?
or that, yeah,
Um,
or that.
yeah. So, anyways, my guy Mikey's Morgue is here, also a candidate for horror YouTuber of the month for November. Russell Collier's here. We still see. Let's see. Of course, Russell had a 69 bug. Russell's lived the coolest life. Like basically every single person in life, their goal should just be to hang out and smoke a joint with Russell Collier at some point.
Well, I like that earlier when we were on Rob's on the Odd Squad stream. I mean, like he was throwing out stuff and I was firing back, man. He was like, "Oh, have you seen this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have seen this." And it's like he was throwing out Wolf, and I'm like, "I love that movie. Jack Nicholson's my favorite, actor, stuff like that." So Russell has some age on me, but I'm right there with you, Russell.
Russell knows what's up. So this is the world's most jumping Halloween party in Warren Valley, Ohio, the
Yeah, it's
home
not
of
even
Halloween.
Salem. Like it's not even Salem, like you would think like Salem, Massachusetts, this is what's going on there right now, like on the daily in October. One would think, I
Well,
don't know.
I would think that they don't want anybody to sue them. And then I also think if you own the name, you can sell like whatever name this is, something Valley, Ohio, whatever it's called. You can make T-shirts for that. The way you make like Crystal Lake shirts or Haddonfield, Illinois T-shirts or something. Like you can, if you own the fake city, you can merchandise it.
Oh yeah, it's like Anytown USA, we can market it.
I gotta look it up. I like how you can tag a location on Instagram. I can't remember where I put some place. I put like Spookyville or some crap. And there really is a place in America called Spookyville, and it's like in like
Hmm.
Pennsylvania or whatever. But it's in with like an hour's distance of a town called Voorhees and another town called Haddonfield. It's like like it's within a weird triangle. Like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Well,
yeah, and it's one of my posts. I'm gonna have to go through and look at the ones I tagged. I usually don't do that as a goof, but every now and then I play the silly location game where you put something on and then you make a funny location. And wherever I put it on there had like I think it had a Camp Crystal Lake and a Haddonfield like right within each other. It's like, or a Voorhees rather. So here's the
and-
tip off. Uh, when you see this, it's like cute. You're like, oh, they're doing like a Disney princesses kind of thing. So the Red Riding Hood doesn't even jump out at you. But then
mhm,
later on, you're like, oh, it's
makes
Red Riding.
sense.
Yeah. And then here's Jay Cutler. Oh, wait a minute.
I was thinking this was Sean Gunn, early Sean Gunn.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Well, Anna Paquin, she had already been Rogue for several
Mm-hmm.
movies at this point. But True Blood, was this before or after? Because if it was after this, then I'd be like, well, this movie clearly got her True Blood.
If I had to guess it's probably same. Like maybe it was in between season 3 and 4 or something. Like I think it's probably around this, because if this was 2007, I think
Realistic,
True Blood was
well,
still running then.
realistically, probably like let's just say like 2005, 2006.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't figure out. Was this made in 2005 and then it sat for 2 years and then the release date of 2007 happened? Or was it made in 2007 and then it sat for 2 years and nobody saw it till 2009? I'm guessing it's the other. I think people didn't start falling in love with it till 2009 ish
Hmm. Yeah, I
because
mean,
I
like
didn't hear
like I
about it
said,
for a
because
long time.
when like I said, when I heard about it, the word of mouth of it, and started seeing stuff everywhere, it was like easily it was already when I was where I live now. Um,
Okay.
and I was just like, what is this? Like, you know, like what is all this? And I was gonna make mention of this earlier. Fake Brie Larson in her robot costume reminded me something out of like Lost in Space or old school Universal
Yeah.
Monster
Yeah.
robot ish. You know, some
She looks like a robot emoji.
yeah.
Yeah.
Before it was a thing.
Yeah. Did you see they just walked by? The fake Brie
Yeah,
Larson, the robot outfit and her husband. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I was like I didn't get to mention it earlier. I didn't want to interrupt when you were talking. So
Yeah, the intertwining there.
hmm
But yeah, this all just it looks like I can't believe it was shelved. Just the look of it. It looks so much better than movies that, they put out. Like, there are movies that look like crap that make it out, and this is such a pretty looking movie. It's like the cinematography, the
yeah,
stylized storytelling,
yeah.
like I said, the creep show stuff.
That's why I was so surprised. Like when I saw it, and I was like, wow, this is shot really well. It looks really polished, and I
Yeah.
mean, it's written really well. Like I said, I when I saw it, I didn't know what I was getting into, and I was like, wow. It's almost similar when I when I went to go watch Event Horizon for the first time in the theater. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch a sci-fi movie, and then it it is what it is. You've seen Event
Yeah.
Horizon. Now I know for sure, Bad Santa got this kid this movie.
Oh, for sure.
Thurman Merman, and this guy that plays the dad is or the principal dad, whatever. He's great, man.
Yeah, I was trying to think of his name. He's fantastic. Because he plays um like he plays straight laced nerd. Like if he's an IRS agent, you'd be like, yeah, that works. But he
hmm
also is a believable like Dexter serial killer type. Like you could be like, oh yeah, I could totally say that guy's like got people tied up in his basement at home. Like
Oh yeah,
he's either the most boring church going guy ever, or he's doing freaky stuff on the dark web.
like this. I could see this guy playing the live action Ned Flanders.
Rightly didely.
hmm
Ugh.
Oh,
I'm admittedly an emetophobe.
oh,
Like I can watch all the like blood and guts and gore in the world because I know it's fake, but fake puking gets me every time. Like even now, you can tell I'm trying not to watch the screen because it's just gross. Like I don't like fake puking. It makes me uncomfortable.
and then he just unwraps the thing and he looks around and like, this should be okay.
Nanette says that Trick or Treat is before True Blood. So,
Okay.
um, but I would guess that sounds about right.
So then if you think about it, that would make sense for her being in that show after this. I would say that this movie or this movie probably got her that show.
Yeah, Trick or Treat is before True Blood. Yeah, it could be. But she had also done the X-Men movies, and she was famous for what, the piano. She was in some Oscar bait movie that was like, and that's where I had first heard of her. I don't remember what movie it was. um
What's
I want
like
to say the piano. I don't remember.
American Beauty made Mira Sorvino, no, not Mira Sorvino. What was that girl's name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. uh the American Pie girl.
Yeah,
She looks
they made it.
perpetually like a little girl.
They made it seem like she was gonna be the next it girl. She did American Pie, and then that was it. She
Yeah.
did she did that
Yeah.
movie Loser also, which I mean, again, What did she
And,
what did she
and
do
now
after that?
neither of us can remember her name. We're both just like, what
Exactly.
was her name? It's something. She has a name. I know for a fact she has a name.
I wonder what that kid is like thinking. Like, does he smell the puke? You know?
American Beauty's way over there.
Yay, there's Sam.
There's Sam. Sam is amazing, iconic character to me because, like, he it's hard to word like how the hell is this guy so famous? Like the second you see him, he grabs your attention, and like after you've seen this movie, you're like, I wouldn't mind a little Sam toy or a Sam decoration, or like he immediately grabs you. He's a
He
horror
infects
icon.
you.
Yeah, I don't know how. It's
He infects you,
just
man. That's the thing. That's what happened to me. Like I
yeah,
said, once I saw it and seeing like I'm like, oh, and then seeing like all this stuff like what ends up happening. I don't want to give anything away if nobody's seen this movie. Which I mean, given the crew here tonight in the chat, I'm sure everybody's seen this movie.
yeah,
But
exactly. These are all
but it's
familiars.
but that's why I'm saying, man. Like I feel like I don't know. I can only tell you my you know. For me, it was like I see him and I'm like, oh. And then it's like
Yeah,
then he does what he does, and I'm like still like I'm like oh, you know.
I guess yeah, he is kind of the spirit. Well, I mean, he's originally based on a cartoon. Like this whole thing is based off a short film cartoon. I think that was called maybe Trick or Treat. Was it the original, or is it called Sam's Back or some crap? It's on YouTube. The original Trick or Treat short that this was based off, that this movie was based off of. It was a short film, but
Now 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 sorry to cut you off, man. I how is this guy's kid?
well, don't they say something about him killing mommy
Yeah.
or mommy dying, and then he mentions later like that's why I killed your mother or something like that. Like I think he's a widowed father, but then later on he admits he killed the mother. I think it's been at least a year since I've seen this.
Well, I
That's the
saw
problem with a
this.
Hall- That's the problem with a Halloween movie. I don't really want to watch this in April or like, August. It's a great movie and I would watch it in August, but it's like I'll catch it in a Halloween. I'm not going to watch it now, like
Oh no, man! Like it's like I'm guilty of like I've seen The Thing. I don't know how many times this year. I've seen like The Big Lebowski. I don't know how many times. Blade Runner. Like I go back to all those classics, man, because it's just like what really is there out there that that's better than those? Commando, like all that stuff. Like this one though, I will say this movie. Uh, I did wait to watch it till, and I saw it at the beginning of October. So this is my second viewing of it this year, and so at least I guess I'm like you, where it's like I'm waiting for spooky season to watch it. You know?
yeah. Well, it's such a good tribute to fall and Halloween, and I mean, just even this with all the leaves on the ground and the dead trees, but it's still nice enough where this guy can be out in just like a work shirt and a tie without like freezing his ass off. It's like that perfect time of year. The old knot hole in the fence, and then later on we see it's um, Brian
Brian
Cox.
Cox. Hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to think of his name from the HBO show. I couldn't even remember it then.
Oh, I
Succession.
was thinking Super Troopers, but
There you go. Hannibal Lecter.
oh yeah, true. He's Hannibal Lecter and Mindhunter, right? Is that what it's called?
Manhunter, yeah.
I don't know why I said Mindhunter. Yeah, Manhunter.
Oh, I hate titles that sound alike or titles that are the same title, like homonym titles or any of them. They piss me off so bad.
I feel like as a dad, he's treading that line, like he's like, okay, kid, you're gonna be next. If
Hmm.
now the clown, I'm assuming that's a different kid, not Pennywise, right? In the that he's like messing with in the grave there. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, the same with the fog, man. I've seen the fog probably I don't know how many times, like this year already. Night owl.
Yeah, night owl. I better not think that better not mean what I think it means.
I was thinking like you're gonna have like jousting videos.
Oh, I was afraid that it was part of
Yeah,
a
I know, I
three-letter
know, I know,
term.
I know.
Yeah. You're walking the third rail of the subway, Don.
Screw you. Boom.
Spicoli only needs some tasty waves, a cool bud, and he's fine. Of course, Spicoli.
Hey Rob, I didn't get to say hi earlier again. Thank you so much for the nomination. I really, really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, brother Rob's a good people. This little scary ass kid. Now, this is listed as a horror comedy in Wikipedia. Is that
Even
what you would
here,
call it?
it
Is
says
that
it
what you
here
call it?
too.
Yeah. I mean,
Horror
it's
comedy.
obviously funny, but I don't know if it's funny all the way through. Like, this is funny, but the werewolf story isn't all that funny, and the Sam story isn't all that funny,
No.
and old Brie Larson robot getting killed ain't all really that funny. I mean, it's you know, this
Yeah, I
is
don't
really the
know.
only funny part.
Yeah, like this is the only funny stuff. Well, I guess you can kind of see some humor when all the stuff with Thurman Merman, where he's like stealing the candies and like knocking the pumpkins over, stuff like that, and then he does what he does to
Yeah.
him. That's I kind of find that funny in a messed up way.
Well, the stuff with the little kids at the old abandoned mine with the bus and all that,
Yeah,
that's like,
that's not funny.
no, there's nothing funny about that. That's like actual, like disturbing to me. Like, because that feels almost like it could happen. Little kids can be real asses.
This part was a pretty good, like this is like the I guess this is the what do you call it? This is like this is what's to come, you know, it's forecasting the rest of the movie. At least when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Because for one, I thought he jammed it in the kid, right? Like they lead you to believe like, okay, and then you know you get that twist reveal where the kids is just as nuts as the dad too, you know.
Yeah. And then
See
here they
every
just straight up have the decapitated child heads child actor's head on a lazy Susan.
yeah,
That's
I guess this
awesome.
I guess this part here where the kids go trick or treating is kind of funny with the teachers and the crazy, you know, furry stuff, I guess.
But this feels like tension and release, though. Like we just had the scary buildup, so now we kind of have to have a little bit of funny to cleanse the palate before we go back into something scary. You know, like Creepshow is real good about doing that. The build up tension, and then we have a laughing release, and then we build up tension again. So I feel
And then
like
we
that's
have
kind of this. It's we're getting a little
where's
bit of a laugh before more crazy shit goes on.
where's my cake?
Exactly. But like the little girl who's an alien, but then she lifts up her thing and she has the retainer on. Like that's funny little bits of business. This drunk ass lady.
See, and I think that's what movies like this, and then I have a good example of something similar, but like more on a darker side. So you've seen 28 Days Later, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't want to go too much off on a tangent because we're watching this, but what I really loved about 20 Days Later is just like everything is just like down here dire. And then like what really messed with me the first time I saw it was like you have these really high like points where like, oh, we're gonna be okay. But then like just like that, boom, we're down here again. And it's just so
The
dire. And then like we get back up here, it builds you back up, and it's just like, oh, like, you know, and then it's just a constant, it's not a it's not like this, it's like either this or this. and it just like it knocks you down as soon as you're feeling like okay, these guys gonna be okay. Boom, you know. So movies like that,
Yeah.
like I'm like, man, that's why I really like that movie. This movie is like that, where it's kind of like it gives you that levity, but it's not. It doesn't really like hit you all the way up here and then knocks you all the way down. It's kind of like gets you starting to get you to a peak, and then it just knocks you down. I don't know if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, no. I think in the case of 28 weeks later, there's like, or 28 days later, there's moments of false hope, which
Right.
is like a good thing to include in horror movies. Like the woman escapes the killer and she runs out to the street and a car's driving by and she's like, hey, hey, and the car just keeps going. It's like, oh shit. Like the false hope kind of helps. It's an interesting like release valve and all the tension.
Hmm.
Pat Masters here. I love Nate. Nate, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for coming by. You get sloppy hand hard.
You get the metal
Echo
horns, Nate. You're the man, dude.
and Echo Cero is here. The buddy, the homeboy Echo Cero. Um, Mayan has posted spicy 4K actions link in the chat. That's good. I like to see the people getting shared around. That's important.
Now I have to ask. Maybe you know this girl right here. She looks really familiar, but I can't place her, and I haven't looked her up, but she looks really familiar to me. But she
Yeah,
also
I don't
kind
know.
but she also kind of reminds me of um from Hellraiser. Uh, oh, why
Well,
am I drawing a blank on her name right now?
that's what I was gonna say. She's a lookalike. She's a not. Um, she's not Andy McDowell. She's not Sonia Braga. She's not. I don't know. She's a bunch of not people. Like she looks like a bunch of people I recognize. That's why when you said this actress, I was like, oh, she's just sort of a generic brown haired woman. Like
What's
she
like
looks like too
the
many other people to be a star.
and there's Robo Brie Larson.
Yeah, exactly.
See, that's why she got killed right there, because nobody helped. She didn't help her. That's the real reason.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm just
No, I mean I agree. Yeah, that's why she deserved it. But
yeah. That's
but it,
just like karma right there.
so the crazy school principal is also like a wannabe vampire, huh?
Yeah, or a Sith Lord, one or the other.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say a villain from Arrow.
Yeah, I really liked it. So I guess which is your favorite story from all these?
Um, I kind of like them all in their own weird way. Um,
Well,
this one is probably my favorite. This is the whole thing with the bus, right? With the little
yeah.
girl. Yeah. So this one is probably the most scary. I also think Sam in the house with Brian Cox is kind of scary. Um, their whole little duel. Um, I find the werewolf one to be the most memorable because it has like a little twist to it, and it's
Hmm.
it builds up and everything.
And then
And then I would think,
it perfectly has that Manson's Sweet Dreams. I think that was like
yeah, 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 the whole
perfect
like
for
weird
that.
orgy thing or whatever.
That was absolutely perfect for that scene. Like when that kicked in, I was like, oh, okay, all right, this
Well, just
is.
yeah, the slow motion and the fire and
Mhm.
all of it. It's
And then just the whole like I thought that was really good. My favorite, I if I had to say, I like all the stories too. I like all the twists and everything, but I think this is probably my favorite one, the one of the kids, because this could also double. This could also double as a growing up. I used to watch like Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark. This could be that. Like this could actually be something like its own thing in that. And I feel like it's more. The story is broad on like so many levels, at least in my opinion. And if they tone down the gore, it could have been on like you know I know what you I Are You Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps or anything like that. At least that's me, and I think that makes it more relatable to like on a broader scale. But I like it because it's a little bit more innocent in a way, you know, and
Yeah.
it's like a tragic tale. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean the jumping time thing. That's why I was caught for a second. I was like, wait, this is the bus thing, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So like where they show the kids and they tell the story. So there's a legend, and then they build a lore, and then the lore kind of haunts it like you do in most. The thing I think that holds this movie together and is good for me is that normally with an anthology movie, you just take like three stories and stick them together and make a movie.
Hmm.
Or a lot of times it's just like stories you own. Like, okay, we have this from this movie or this for the movie, and they're totally not connected. You just find something to string them together.
Hmm.
This is clearly all from the same writer, and this all lives in the same world and all that. Supposedly they said in 2009 the director said that he was going to be working on a sequel, and then the funding never came through. And then in 2022, supposedly he said he was also going to start working on a sequel again. So apparently there's a Trick or Treat 2 eventually coming. Supposedly. At this point, I think they would, just because uh, if there's three hatchets or four hatchets, it's ridiculous there isn't at least two Trick or Treats.
Well, see, now this begs the question though: would it be all different stories, all different characters, only Sam being the only, you know? Because if that was the case, then I would totally be on board for that. I don't want anything having to do with this one. Only Sam. Like that's the only thing I want is for Sam to be the only thing connecting, the original film, or being the spirit of Halloween, or the embodiment of Halloween. But I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
doubt
me.
they would. I don't think they would do. Like, I don't think we would get a repeat story of a Brie Larson type lady, and I don't think we would get a repeat story of this, or I mean, I don't think they would They might reference the whatever the rock quarry where the kids died or something, but they might use it for a different story.
Well, honestly, I would rather it be like even in a different town.
Yeah,
So where it's like, I mean, because Halloween happens everywhere, so it's kind of like, man, this part right here is like, oh, I don't know, man. Every time I watch it, it's so like, it's like it's sad.
yeah, it's disturbing just how it's because
Yeah,
it's the special needs kids, so they can't
yeah.
fight. They're extra defenseless, and he chains them all up, and he's just ugh. It's Yeah, it's like sickening. The whole time you're going on, you're like you're rooting for someone to show up and stop this from happening in front of us. It's actual. That's why I said it's far from funny. This is like disturbing and
Yeah, I know. That's why for them to like consider it a comedy, I'm like, even right now, like when I had it queued up, I was like, comedy? How is this? How is this funny?
yeah. The principal stuff is for sure, but yeah, this whole stuff is there's some tragedy here.
I know I
Look at that
mentioned it.
shot.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
This for this movie being shot in like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna assume 2005 to somewhere in between 2005 2007, based off like what I've heard. And
Sure.
I mean, and for it to be looking this gorgeous, like me personally, I my biggest complaint about movies, you can ask any of my closest friends, the thing I complain about the most is how polished, how clean movies look now. This doesn't look clean, but it looks really polished. It looks really, really good and shot really good. And for it to be this gorgeous looking in that time period, I mean, it's just wow, it baffles my mind, you know? Because I feel like there's like little to no CGI in this movie. I could be wrong, but at
Yeah,
least for me.
if it is, it's just bridge, spackle over gaps. There's no big like CGI monsters or nothing.
Hmm.
But I love that right there. Like when they go back to the late 60s or 70s, whenever the original tragedy happened, there there's like an orange filter or a
Yeah.
LUT, whatever you want to call it, over the top of it. So it looks almost like how the photography looked back in the 70s, like old Polaroids had kind of that yellowish orange tint to them. So it
Hmm.
feels faded and dated from that era. And then they fade back to a blue dark night, for this shot.
That's cool, man. We got 15 likes.
Nice job. Good people. Yeah, we had the Ninth Circle raid earlier. Those fellas were sometimes they go till 4 in the morning and stuff, and they've talked about it and they were like, you know what, let's wrap up early and go hang out at Don's stream. I was like, those give Wes and Rob and all them a big give them all noogies.
I know I've said it before, like I when I met yeah, me too, Nanette. I hate CGI in horror movies. That's why I don't
Yeah,
like
not a fan.
the thing prequel or whatever the hell that is. Um
Yeah.
so what was I gonna say? Yeah, that threw me off, man. I started thinking about the thing. I'm like, oh, garbage.
Yeah, the Thing remake was disappointing. Or whatever, prequel.
I have a funny story about that. My buddy, you remember my video of the pulse rifle. My buddy Joe,
Yeah.
we were at Texas Frightmare one year, and he was like, we were at the Half Price Books booth, and then he goes, there was this girl there, and she was like, "Oh, the Thing," and then he was like, "No, that's a prequel," and the girl was like, "Ugh," and then she just like walked away. And then he ended up picking it up because it was like dirt cheap. And he's like, "You've never seen this movie?" I was like, "No, I had no interest because no." And he's like, "Well, you got to watch it, at least so you can know that it's bad." And then so he bought it. We saw it that night, and I was like, "Wow, this is really bad. Why did they
Yeah.
Why did they do CGI? Like, ugh, it's like
Well,
trash, man."
the worst part is they lied. They told everybody they weren't going to do CGI, and then they did do CGI. So yeah, that movie sucks. Um,
Yeah,
I like all this. This is funny where she's trying to find a date, and she sees like the centaur guy, and then she's like, hey, and then a woman's the back half of the horse, and she's like, oh, never mind, and like she sees like the big muscle bound dude, and it's like a big China guy, like a
yeah.
Beth Phoenix. Like, wow, look at this monster.
Well, what's funny about the whole centaur thing, and she was like, "Oh," I was kind of like, "So she's into like horse dudes?"
I think she was
Interesting.
more into like shirtless built dudes more than anything. Like
Maybe maybe she was thinking like outside the box. Like maybe he was like,
maybe, never can
"Never mind.
tell.
I don't want to say anything because I don't
I was
want
gonna say you keep your horse anatomy jokes to yourself. You
to." Yes, sir. The Owl King has spoken.
yeah, exactly. I'm using my authority for my last couple weeks or my last week left.
So let me ask you this, man. Like kind of off topic. I said in my recent video, do you have any thoughts or any theories of what my next slasher collection stuff I'm going to share for next week?
I don't know. I would go with some other franchise. You've kind of been doing the franchise collection thing, so I don't know. I don't remember you being a big Texas Chainsaw guy or a big Scream guy. So I don't know. I think do you have some Halloween stuff maybe or what's your third big franchise after
Can't say,
Freddy
man.
and Jason?
I
Can't
can't
say.
say. I can't say. It's one of those things where like I want to hear people's thoughts and opinions. So people in the chat, if y'all have seen my recent video, like I would like to, y'all's opinions. That's why I thought I would ask you because, the Owl King. You know, my guy down the ghost.
Woo. Oh, sorry, that was the owl. The ghost was like, woo. Uh, I like the little baby Captain Atom they got here. This kid with the pirate kid.
That's a good one, man. That's funny.
I agree
It's
with
like
Mayanne. There ain't no way I'm going down there. I I would rather fight any one of the killers, the principal, Sam, any of them. I'd rather try to wrestle any of them than get in that rusty ass old elevator and go down into that rock quarry, like 20 stories down into a rock ditch into water. No thanks.
I would have been like, it's like, okay, just let me know when y'all want me to send down the elevator.
Yeah. But it's crazy that they get down there and there it is. There's the bus. It's all true.
I'm trying to see if anybody, what are people saying in the chat? Because it only comes up like real quick for me.
Oh, Mayan says by her count, she sees 16 likes.
Oh, nice.
Um, let's see here. Rob is guessing that she wanted to get with the centaur guy because of horse eggplant. Um,
See,
then
that's
May,
why we're
yeah,
right where we were right there with that.
Rob, yeah, there's Rob knows what's up. You never go ass to mouth. So then, um, yeah,
Oh, look,
Mayan knows that it's Halloween in the movie, and uh, Russell wants somebody to do Cruising with Al Pacino and Joe Spinell. I can't find it anywhere. I never heard of that movie in my life until like 5 years ago, and it's been gone. Same with what's it called, Possessed or something? Sam Neill. Um,
hmm,
I can't remember who all
I'll,
the other
I'll,
woman is in it, but it was a movie from the '80s that I never heard of, and people were like, "Oh, you got to see that." I'm like, "Okay," and then I tried to find it, and it's never available. That's how Cruising is. It's just missing. That's how Near Dark is. I still have never seen Near Dark because it's always on some channel I don't have.
you've never seen like at all, never. You've never seen
Nah,
Near
I
Dark,
never seen the
man.
movie
That's
Near
really
Dark.
good. There's
Yeah, I
people
know.
there's so in the '80s you were either Near Dark or you were Lost Boys. I'm Near Dark.
Yeah, nobody I know ever spoke about Near Dark. I never heard anybody talk about it up until past 2010. I never heard a single
Wow,
person mention Near Dark. I never heard.
wow.
Yeah, no, it never came up. Lost Boys was everywhere. Lost Boys had the Doors "When You're Strange" music video from the trailer that everybody loved, and it revitalized Doors music. And that big Vin Diesel saxophone guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was watching
and
it.
I
I watched
still
it like
believe.
I think I was watching it like a couple weeks ago because it's on. I think it's on Max, and um my wife and I were talking about it like a month ago, and she hadn't seen it in forever. And I was like, "Hey, look, it's on there. Do you want to watch it?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then I always find it funny when I found out the fact that the glitter vampires they did it first.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, you didn't know that? Like they had they had glitter on them.
Hmm.
Yeah, like there are certain scenes where you see them like kind of shiny, and then I saw like somewhere they had actual Schumacher had them have like glitter when they were vampires.
I was gonna make a smart ass comment about Joel Schumacher, and I was trying to think of how to word it. So yeah, never mind. Um,
Russell, see me and Russell over right here. Loves Near Dark. Looks
yeah,
like Nanette. She's gonna watch my video after the stream. Man's having her theories on what it could be. So, see, this is what I
yeah.
wanted. I wanted people to.
Mayanne says Michael or Chucky, and Mayanne loves the Chucky. Ooh, the Chucky. That's one of my favorite Mayanne videos. That was when I first fell in love with her content when she was so excited to see the Chucky out in the Halloween decorations. Look at the Chucky. She was so happy. Nanette has Near Dark, but hasn't seen it. Damn it.
I'll tell you this.
Which is on what's on YouTube, Russell? Near Dark or Cruising?
Probably cruising.
Cruising's like, isn't it like a gay bashing movie? It's like a guy who goes and murders gay people, I think, or something like that. It's a crazy. It's like a
I've never
serial
seen
killer
it.
movie. Yeah,
I've
it's like a
heard the
serial killer
name.
movie from the 70s. Yeah. I think dude goes out cruising for gay people and murders them. I think. I don't know. I've never seen it. Rob says Near Dark is good, but not Lost Boys good. So we've got a real turf war here over Lost Boys and Near Dark. And I still believe.
The 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 thing for me is I feel like Lost Boys like ends too abruptly. Like I feel the fight between Kiefer and you know the guy from Filter's brother. Like I feel like it's kind of anticlimactic because it's just like they're just pushing each other.
Yeah.
Hold on, man. Hmm? Man, switch around there. Okay.
Was an appearance by Mrs. Cat Dad? And do we have any horror cats with us in the room at the time? I know that's always a popular Captain Adam wants more cat content.
No, that's what I was asking. I was like, is switch around, like because I heard
Oh,
her.
switch.
I thought I heard her earlier, like scratching, but she wasn't. She was just.
I thought that was closing down shop talk. Like, oh, I'm going to bed. Like, hey, don't forget to hit the switch.
I, I love this part, man, where she's just like, bye bye.
Yeah, she's got like the creepy, like cold dead look on her. Like, that's what you get, you bitches, for trying to do this to me.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge is
Yeah,
a dish best served cold.
or at least lukewarm.
Yeah. But just her cold, like dead face, like, look what you guys have done to me. Screw y'all. Man
I
says,
love.
got him.
I like this part though.
There he is.
See what I mean? Sam's on screen, and I'm just like, oh.
Well, he's charming in like how he stumbles around in his little footy pajamas and stuff. Like he's just kind of cute. Like if you're gonna get murdered, I would much rather. Well, I'd rather be murdered by Salma Hayek and From Dusk Till Dawn first, and then Sybil Danning and The Howling, and then Howling Two. Sorry, so, and then Sam. Those are my picks. Yeah, Sam did say
Yeah,
respect.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he's like respect, girl. I feel you.
Yeah,
But here's
for
every time I
yeah.
watch a horror movie, every one of my audiences is subjected to me and my rambling about how you have to make sure you do things to make the audience care about who's going to be in danger. So we've spent all this time with Little Red Riding Hood seeing how she can't get a date. And it's like, oh, she's cute. She shouldn't struggle to meet a nice guy. She seems nice. All her slutty friends are meeting dudes. How come she can't meet a guy? And then you realize, no, we didn't want her to meet a guy. She's awful. Her and her friends, we knew they were terrible, but they're a different kind of terrible. But then, yeah, when wannabe fake Dracula here.
Hmm.
I understand something. I love Lost Boys. It's my favorite vampire movie, my favorite horror movie, and probably always will be. When it comes to movies, liking something doesn't mean someone else will. Uh, Russell says cruising is also free on YouTube. Really? Huh. Well, I'll give it a watch then.
So this is what I don't. So this is what I kind of don't understand because you saw the one girl scream, right, when the body fell down.
Yeah.
So were they thinking it was a girl?
I think they were
Well,
thinking that, yeah, that's the Red Riding Hood that's dead or whatever, not. old buddy with the mask on, the Destro.
Or Serpentor.
Yeah. Trying to remember. He looks like a villain from one of them damn fantasy movies, like I don't know, Beastmaster or one of them. But I love that the like the coven of werewolf chicks are all dressed up like Disney princesses. Like it really makes
Mm-hmm.
it extra kind of funny, Cinderella and Snow White and stuff.
The fat kid from Bad Santa. Yep. I'm telling you, he got this movie because of Bad Santa. Because Bad Santa, I think, was 2003 or 4. Might have been 2005. This might have been like right after that. I love that movie, man. So Christmas, if it's streaming somewhere and you want to do a live stream of that, telling you right
I have
now.
I have the unrated version here somewhere.
Yeah,
So
I have that too. I have the Blu-ray also. So we can,
all right,
even
so
if it's not streaming, we can, can do it
yeah,
anyway.
we might have to get together. That's I always try to find something that somebody can find, but so every now and then there's just ones I want to do, and I'm gonna have to go ahead and do them. Just it's like, look, guys, I know I have the disc, and you guys are gonna have to do what you can to find it somewhere.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, you see, all these other people have just been devoured. They've been luring dudes out here.
Oh man, not the guy in the hot dog costume.
Not the guy in the hot dog costume. They bit the wiener. You never bite the wiener.
Oh, bite the weenie Riz. It's relish. Hey, look, she was drinking Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, she's watching her figure too. Good for her.
Well, I mean, when you're a werewolf, I mean, kind of. You know, what's a good werewolf movie is Ginger Snaps. That's a good one.
I still haven't seen two or three. I think there's just the three of them. The first one's the third one's the beginning, I think.
Yeah, the
Um,
third one's a prequel.
yeah,
The second one is more the sister becomes. It's been a
the
while since I've
younger
seen that one.
sister, right?
hmm
Yeah,
Which
the first one's about the older sister. Yeah.
which is funny because it's reversed in real life. The younger sister is actually older than the older sister
Oh,
in real life.
really?
Yeah,
Ginger
that's
Snaps is
interesting.
weird. It when I was watching it, I kept thinking this reminds me of Degrassi High, like that old TV show with Drake and stuff. And I kept looking at it thinking like, why does this remind me of Degrassi High so much? And then I like, I don't know, went to IMDb or Wikipedia or whatever, and they're like, filmed in Canada, made by the people who made all the like funding for the Degrassi. I was like, oh, that's why it's all shot in the same place where Degrassi was shot.
hmm
This ties what you're saying all together. In addition to the werewolf orgy we got going on here,
hmm
there's a Christmas version of this called A Christmas Horror Story. And it's the same type of deal. It's a bunch of Christmas horror movies, and they're all intertwined and fold up, and the book ended with a story and all that. And then that one, it's from the creators, I believe, of the Ginger Snaps movie, and it takes place in Bedford Falls, the same place that Ginger Snaps takes place in and stuff. So it all comes full circle. The Christmas ripoff of this movie is made by the Ginger Snaps people. But I
Oh, cool.
recommend A Christmas Horror Story. It was good.
And like Sam is just like chilling.
Yeah, he's hanging out at the werewolf orgy. It's like any little evil kid would do.
And it's just like eh.
There it is, the harvest moon. That's what we're gonna have this year on Halloween. We're gonna have the blood moon, whatever the red. I think I can't remember what the one at the end of October is called. The Harvest Moon is the one at the beginning of this month. But the
That's
end
right,
of
man.
October,
Sam loves
we'll have
it.
another. Sam does. Yep. Sorry, Rob. No chat for you. Actually, Rob, I think it was the first chat you've been in, you bastard. There's one. There it is.
Give that man a wrench. You get a
Wrench Rob
wrench.
up.
You get a
Wrench Rob
wrench.
up. You get a wrench. You a standard moderator till you learn how to behave.
You're gonna ice tea it up in the chat.
Yeah, the gangster ass. I am a nightmare walking, psychopath talking, king of my jungle, just a gangster stalking. Yeah, I know the words to colors. Colors, colors, colors,
Body
colors.
count. Body count. Body count. Body count. That was in Universal Soldier.
I was trying to remember that he had he had the what do you call it? The body count had uh, uh, a bunch of soundtrack songs, but I couldn't remember what movies they were in.
Yeah, one in the end credits of Universal Soldiers. They have a track in there, and it threw me off because I was like, "Is this Ice T?" And it was just like just rocking. It's like, wow,
So here's Brian Cox and his dog, and we're at
stealing
the
stealing kids' candy.
23:43 left in the movie, and I think this is the last story, right?
Yes, it is.
Like there's no more intertwined stories. So the last 20 minutes is this Brian Cox thing. So damn near, well, an hour and 20, the 24. Yeah, that's about right. I empathize with old man Brian Cox so hard. I just want a cool dog and a bag of candy. That's all I need.
This is like the dad from Frasier.
Oh yeah. The dog from Frasier, the Eddie,
Hmm.
little Jack Russell Terrier or whatever.
So he went from the dad from Frasier. He went to Brian Cox.
I like that we see the crazy ass news van that we saw earlier. Like they're bringing it all together, tying it in.
And what's interesting, if you look at it, he's like flipping through the channels, right? So you saw like a werewolf cartoon, like you see those like little. I mean, clearly he eats Halloween because he goes back to the meat cooking, meat cutting, whatever.
It's the set it and forget it.
Hmm.
The rotisserie, the Ron Popeil. What the hell was it called? Let's see. Rob. Rob says this is my first stream that isn't at 1 o'clock in the morning. He's right. Uh, I gotta hold down the late shift. That's what I do. I'm the middle of the nighters for the people who can't sleep. Pat Master. Nan says she'll be right back. We'll be here,
Okay,
Nan. At least for 20 minutes, maybe longer. We'll see.
I also have to be right back.
Okay, you go right ahead. I'm gonna watch Brian Cox fight this little kid with a bat.
All right, I'll be right back.
Give me a beer while you're up. His dog, his name is Spite. I always thought it was Sprite. His name is Spite. That's a funny ass name for a little dog like that. In here, we see that this is the same conversation we saw the weird neighbor, principal, vampire guy have before. So he's been involved in 3 stories. Oh, Pap's going through, giving everybody a bunch of love. And oh yeah, Larry, get Mayanne some champagne on the way back too, please. What about you, Rob? You need a beer? Anybody else need a beer? So yeah, now we see the reverse conversation of when the guy's trying to bury it in the yard. He's got I can't believe he named that dog Spite. That's so funny to me. Screw you. This is Brian Cox before Succession, so he was kind of middling. Like he's one of those actors that everybody knew was awesome, but he's like Christopher Walken or something. Like whenever he turned up, I think you would probably try to get Anthony Hopkins to be in your movie, and when you couldn't get him, you would get Brian Cox. So he opened up his front door, and his yard is just bombarded. He's been jacko bombed. His yard is just bombarded with different jack o' lanterns. Oh, no, Pep, I haven't seen Lady J. Ghoul. I was looking for her. She was here earlier. Loved Brian Cox with Tom Noonan and William Peterson. Yeah, Manhunter's awesome. I agree with that. 100 o'clock is even later. You're right. Wait, is it? I don't think 100 o'clock is. I think I'll be talking to myself. Damn it, Rob, you gangster ass. So now Brian Cox is waging a war with Sam. And this is some straight like Elmer Fudd business right here. Like the first thing he does is get a big ass double barrel shotgun. Why would you shoot a double barrel shotgun off in your own home? At least get something more precise. Wow, lightning just struck inside Larry's house. That's scary. Slowly creeping up the sets. That's the exact same shot from Psycho, where the left half of the screen is steps coming upward and we're watching. How did this dude? Oh, he probably bought this house in like 1940. I was like, how does this single dude afford this house that's like a mansion inside? Welcome back. Did
And
you
we're
uh
back.
did you get Mayanne a champagne and me a beer while you're up? Okay, you got yourself a drink. That's all that's important. Mayanne says, shh, I'm hunting wabbits. Exactly. This is all very Elmer Fudd.
I know, right? He's got the lip and
Jewel is not
everything.
here at my house. She's at my mom's house, and she has my granddaughter. So she's probably just busy taking care of my granddaughter. All right. Well, tell Lady J. Ghoul she's awesome no matter what she's doing.
Hey Nate, how's it going, man? Glad you're here.
Yeah, Nate's the man. I like to. Nate brings happy, infectious energy where he goes. That's awesome. I love that with the like the blood written all over the wall, the giant jack-o'-lantern flamethrower. Like that's just is great imagery. Looks scary as hell.
For Sam to be able to do all of that in like the span of a couple minutes, that's pretty pimp.
Well, especially the scene before where he piled like 45 jack-o'-lanterns all over the front yard out of nowhere, all with a
Mm-hmm.
different face.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, the old Achilles, just like Caddyshack. I just snip his Achilles and never golf again.
Or like in Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, I was kind of was kind of amazed by that too. Nate has a grandkid or grandkids.
Oh wow.
You rascal. You got the good genes. He looks too young for it. So now what's that candy bar called?
What was it? Um,
I was gonna say it's probably an accessory in one of them Sam NECA figures you got or something. I saw the
it's like
name of it for 1 second.
it's like this big. It's literally like this big. Like that
Yeah,
accessory. It's like
we'll need a
tiny.
magnifying glass. Rob says busting shots inside your house is super gangster. Yeah. Everybody comes over and they're like, why are there shotgun shell or a bird shot all along the wall in your house?
Man says it's
Like
slashy bar.
a slashy bar.
Well, no, what's funny is Spirit Halloween last year they released an accessory of that, like a prop or a costume accessory of that actual of the candy bar. So, like I
Well,
know the name, I just it's eluding me right now.
that's why I had asked because I figured that would be the type of thing you would sell for marketing. You know,
Hmm.
like we were talking about the city earlier. It's like, yeah, you're almost better off making up a fake name and putting it on T-shirts and fake, license plates and stuff. Now, this is the tough part with Sam because in some shots you can see he's like a 6-year-old. And in other shots you can see he's like, yeah, like a teenager or maybe like a woman gymnast or something, like someone small but able to do stunts. Like
What's like right here when he comes over and tackles them, right? Like right there.
yeah, some of the wide shots or whatever you can see it looks like, yeah, Sam is maybe being played by someone 17. I would guess a stunt person or whatever, a smaller woman. But that's crazy, the skeleton pumpkin head.
See, I was gonna say O. Henry also. Robert said O.
I thought it
Henry.
was a specific name. Oh, Henry was a real candy bar.
Ooh.
Wow. I love that where the small child corpse just goes sliding across the room. So so psychologically disturbing yet hilarious and still kind of cute.
I look at it like this: as long as Sam didn't hurt the dog, we're good.
Yeah, leave Fraser's dog alone, Eddie.
Hmm.
I like that when you shoot Sam, pumpkin innards come out like seeds in the
Yeah.
goo. That's a nice touch.
Well, yeah, that's why like when I did the review on the NECA figure, I was just like, you see the little seed like on the other head sculpt where it's like hanging down. I was like,
Yeah.
man, that's insane, man.
And Brian Cox has the same black phone that I have in my horror YouTuber video. The one I have is from when I was a child, so it still has my phone number from my childhood home, like when I was like 5 or 6 on it. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah, I have a granddaughter. My daughter left me with a granddaughter because God, I just wanted to take care. Oh, that's right. Well,
Yeah.
Pat and Nate, you're freaking awesome as usual. You're a good person doing a good thing, which is something I can kind of count on you for always. Nate was explaining the story with his granddaughter. Nate, are you and Lady J natives? Like how do you guys know each other? Like I for some reason I thought maybe you guys lived on a res. I wasn't sure. So they're the decapitated hand with the burlap sack gloves, all very Evil Dead.
Yeah, I know. And it's like this is the first time I noticed this. That kind of looks like a little bit like Eartha Kitt.
She does look like he does look like Eartha Kitt. Marcus. Yeah, it looks like Eartha Kitt. It looks like Jada Pinkett. Like, me and Will have not been together since 2016, and I had an entanglement.
Don't disrespect Sam like that, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's mean as hell.
Yeah, Nate, man, that's a very good, very noble of you, man.
Yeah, when what happened to Nate was going down is like right around the time I met him, and he was such a kind man. I could see he was going through so much, and when I sort of heard the story he's telling right now about his daughter passing away and stuff, it just and then for him to still be such a kind, nice person on top of it, it's like that's why I'm always so quick to point out what a good dude he is and how much I appreciate him. I saw the damn candy bar again and couldn't read it. It just
He
went.
give, I think he gives it to him again. Like he actually gives it to him, and that's why he doesn't kill him.
The old fake out.
I was trying to see what it said.
Yeah, Sean feels me on the oversized stunt double. Like you kind of have to because of the fighting. Otherwise, you're gonna have to use a dummy, and it's gonna look stupid. But like there, it looks like that's a small child. But then the fighting scenes, it looks like yeah, maybe I'm guessing either a woman, a stunt person, or yeah, a very small man.
At least, well, I mean, at least they didn't CGI it, man.
Oh no, this whole movie in general, I have there's no part about this movie that annoys me. That's the Howard Hawks thing, the what's a great movie? Three good scenes, no bad ones. And this
Hmm.
movie has at least three good scenes and no bad ones. So that's why I like this, enjoy it. You know, it's several memorable parts. Sam is memorable. The teacher's memorable. The bad Santa kid. The elevator at the rock quarry with the kids in the bus. Just so much of it is memorable, but there's no part where I'm like, this sucks. I need to fast forward through this part.
Yeah,
And then you
right.
see it's him.
It's
Oh,
very tight.
yeah.
I don't get all the little girls with the pig masks. Is that supposed to be American Swine, Molly Cruz album?
That maybe. I was gonna go with Three Little Pigs in reference to the wolf that we had earlier. You know,
Oh
like
wow, yeah.
but uh but yeah, there could be a Pink Floyd thing going on there too. I am jealous of all those pumpkins. I kind of want Sam to pumpkin bomb my house. I just want to go out in the front yard and find like 55 of them sitting out there.
I wonder if this kid is playing Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, he kind of is, just covered in blood. Or is he supposed to be his dad?
I think he's supposed to be his dad, but I mean, I think it's
Yeah,
like you
but
know,
he does look like Patrick Bateman.
yeah. And then like all this at the end, like you see all the like there, you see the werewolf chicks in the car, like oh, we got our fix.
Yeah, and we see her go rolling by collecting the pumpkins and just how it all folds back up into each other, wraps around.
So see, if only she would have like okay, we'll do it in the morning. She would have been fine.
I just
Okay.
don't believe that she would be up for doing her whole front yard like that and then want to take it down like that quick. Like anybody who loves Halloween that much wouldn't be that anxious to take it down unless he
especially,
put it all up and she wanted it down.
well, I mean, even especially that late at night, it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, wait, do it in the morning. Yeah.
I like how Sam's like, well, guess I'm gonna get to use this on somebody.
The director said after he was done with Godzilla and be working on Trick or Treat 2 and haven't heard any news about it since 2016. Yeah, I saw a thing,
Oh
Sean, that
man.
said in 2022 he was talking about doing it, but then nothing still has ever come from it. I don't know if, well, this was also distributed by Warner Brothers and they got bought. So everything kind of went on hold with the Warner, with Batwoman and all that, the Flash. But like those Trick or Treat comic books, I bet they make those somewhere.
That would be cool. I need to look that up to see if they actually do.
Uh, No, I knew Lady J Gould for a while. She was my pen pal in many years. Jessica, Lady J grandma passed away, so New York stayed with me in the Tucson. We lived in town. Lady J, Mexican and white. That
I'm
makes
I'm
sense.
his I'm Hispanic too, Nate. By the way.
That makes sense. Well, because I think I had met you guys. I know you through Sean Blue Digital from his streams, but I think I met you through Echo as well. So that's why kind of these things get tangled up. Party Girl, Spike the
Entanglement.
dog with Zip. Um,
They become an
Sentiment.
entanglement, Don.
Yeah, I sure hope not. So 4 minutes in this movie left. So 4 minutes out of 122. So 100 or 1 hour, 18 minutes for this whole movie. That is so fast. Like when I think of it, I think of it as like an hour and 45 or something. I don't think of it as one that just goes so quick, but
It
it's tight.
it,
Nice.
it, it goes back to like what I told you. Like it's like those old Universal monster movies. They have so much. It's tight. They have so much in it in that small window of time. And I think this movie really does a great job of that. I don't
I
know, man.
agree.
I love this movie. I mean, I'm glad I finally discovered it last year, and I'm glad it's and that's a cool thing too. It's like it's open ended, but at the same time, it leaves you like, okay, I'm fine with the way it ended right here.
Well,
This is
that's my
this is
complaint. I don't understand these long stretched out modern movies where they seem to like just make it shorter, make people want, leave them wanting more. And then if you get more, the shorter the movie is, the more run times you can have per theater each day. So I don't understand why they don't try to make more movies like this. An hour and 40 is perfect. This hour and 20, this flew by. Plenty of time.
well, I mean, it's like what are they saying? I mean, it's just like because that's the norm nowadays. Remember back then, like Ben Hur, Ten Commandments. Those were considered like grand, epic movies where they did have intermission. Like I think Ten
Yeah.
Commandments had like an intermission and stuff like that.
I
And like
blame
that
Gone with
was
the Wind. Gone with the Wind is the ultimate offender. That was like the big epic that everybody was like, I want to make Gone with the Wind. And, even The Godfather, Coppola was like, he wanted those to be like Gone with the Wind. Like that's the example they use, the big 3 hour epic with an intermission. And
well, honestly, I think wow, they had Cry Little Sister in this movie. Interesting. They had like a remix version of it. Sorry, that kind of for the Lost Boys people. Hey, Don's here.
yeah, before I sweat to death under that thing.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. Honestly, I feel like Scorsese is the main offender of that.
Yeah, Scorsese. Well, I think I blame Coppola mainly. I think once Coppola had The Godfather with 3 hours, then that became like the prestige amount because Tarantino now insists on making all his damn movies like 2.5, 240 and stuff. Um, uh, what's his name? Christopher Nolan. All his movies used to be a tight like hour 45 two. Now they're all like 220, 230. It's like quit wasting my time, you know?
That was a Dark Knight, man. That's why.
Yeah, it could be. Uh, oh, anyways, Max dropped by. Thank you, Max. That's cool for you to hang out, buddy. That's nice. Max is new to my channel, so it's nice of him to come hang out.
I'm actually
Um,
surprised we got 11 people watching right now.
no, a lot of fun people. Friday nights are sketchy. A lot of times folks aren't around, but
Oh, I thought you meant sketchy in the sense like the sketchy people come out at night on Fridays.
no, no, it's a crapshoot. Most people are out, are doing stuff on Friday nights. Like they're just folks aren't around on Saturdays, or on Fridays and Saturdays. So you would think those would be the busy times on YouTube, and for some reason they're slow, like it is on all social networking.
We'll see
Twitter
for
was always notoriously so on weekends.
Well, see, for me, man, actually, Fridays work better to do, you know, to do this because it's like, the little one's home. So it's like the wife and the little one got their stuff going on. And I'm just kind of like on the side, like doing whatever. So if I'm doing this, I was like, oh, yeah, I can do it Friday, you know.
Yeah,
So for me, it's just more like Friday's more of a better time to do, watch parties and stuff like that. So,
yeah. Well, uh, like I say, at the end of next week, I'm going to be relocating. Uh, probably be back on the air sometime close to. I'm hoping to be back up and running before Thanksgiving, but you got to get the cable company out to get Wi-Fi set up and all that. And I don't know. I could probably do one or two streams from my phone with the amount of data I have, but I may be needing
mm.
that for other things. So if I'll probably do one or two streams maybe this upcoming week, and then I'll shut down towards the end of the week and do my moving and all that, and then after I get settled in the middle of November, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Well, say, Nanette was just asking right now. I don't know if you saw it. She's asking if you're busy tonight.
No, I think after this I'm headed to bed. Actually, tomorrow I'm probably going to get up early and do some more packing. I was thinking about maybe having a double feature with you, see if you wanted to watch something, but I was had a feeling that as the day wore down, I would get caught up with me. So you what you up to this weekend? You got anything big plans? Any videos coming out? I know you put out a new Freddy video today.
Yeah,
You're
hopefully, if I this past week was nuts, man, at work. So it was just kind of like that's why today was I was uploading the video, so some behind the scenes movie magic for people when I commented that I was gonna be late on my video for today. It's because I was like I hadn't uploaded it to YouTube yet, so I was literally at work uploading it, and then I had to put all the details and everything in the description. So that's why I was like, well, it's not going to be out by 12. So, then I put it for 2. I scheduled it for 2, and then I was like, okay, I got it done. So I rescheduled it for 1 o'clock. So that's why it came out at 1 o'clock. And just because this whole week was nuts, man. Like I think I worked 11 hours Wednesday, 11 hours Thursday, and then this morning was crazy busy. So like I literally that video I shot Thursday. Like when I got home from work, I shot it, started editing it, and I had all the cuts I wanted out. So again, guys, I'm deep diving right here for my latest Freddy video. It's like I did all that, and but I digress. Beyond that, hopefully, I I always say this. I hope I can get ahead and film my next video on Sunday, but we'll see what happens. What about you,
Yeah,
man?
that's kind of where I'm at. I would like to try to get a handful of videos recorded and in the bank and uploaded to YouTube, so there's like some content that I can release, but I don't know. I'm going to be so swamped. It's easier just to take so much work and so much editing and everything to do other stuff. It's like shorts and live streams might have to be what's going on until I get resettled. I might do a couple of collection vids as I box stuff up, but let's see here. Yeah, man, I'm moving to your place. Open the back door. If you put a key under the mat. Uh, um, um,
Well, I'm just
oh,
saying.
later Saturday night. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like at 2 in the morning today. No, I don't know if I'm doing anything later. I don't think so. I mean, let me catch up with you, but yeah, we might I might have to catch up with Nanette tomorrow.
Cool, man.
Um,
Yeah. I think. Trying to think.
you take
Yeah.
care, Sean. Blue Digital.
Oh,
Thanks for
Sean,
hanging
man.
out, buddy.
Have a
I
good night, man.
appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out, man. Really, really appreciate it, dude.
May- Mayhem says I'm more than welcome. I'd be like, who's the boss, right? I'd be like the Tony Danza for your kids. I'd be out in the garage, hitting the speed bag. You take it easy, Sean. I appreciate you, buddy. I was, like I said, I was over at his Night of the Demons stream before this. So if you're a fan of the classic Night of the Demons, I recommend you go check out Sean's latest stream. Also, what was it, last night or the night before, where Sean and Juno talked about their top 5 favorite Halloween movies. Uh, you were there for that, right,
Hmm.
Larry? Did you share your top 5 on that occasion?
Yeah. So it's funny because I was like doing that and editing, Friday's video at the same time. So I was
That's
like
what I
watching
do.
it.
I listen to live streams while I edit. I put it on the thing and I put it on the computer. I tell people sometimes like hands are busy, but I'm listening. All right.
Yeah. So I was there, and then I started listing my top five as they were listing theirs. But then I was like, okay, I gotta finish this and go to bed because I had to get up this morning and get to work because I go into work at 6, so I have to be up like at 4 something or whatever. And so then at one point I was just like, okay, here's my 3, 2, 1. This is my 3, 2, 1. And yeah, man, it's just been this week has been absolutely insane. But I got out early today. They were nice enough to, like, you're leaving after this meeting, right? I'm like, yes, hopefully. And they're like, no, you leave. I'm like, all right, cool. But what are your top five, man?
Um, Controversial take. Trick or Treat is probably number one as far as my favorite Halloween movie goes. It's controversial, I know. Um, the problem is I've had a whole lifetime of Carpenter's Halloween, so it just there's nothing new there. Like I only watch it for nostalgia. I almost watch it like It's a Wonderful Life or something. It's like the reverse of It's a Wonderful Life. It's a miserable life. Um, so I like Halloween, but if I didn't see Halloween again for 5 years, I would watch it in year 6 and still remember all the words, and I'd be like, "Oh, what's his name? Ben Tramer." like, I shot him 6 times, all that shit. So, Trick or Treat is probably my current favorite because I like it so much. And then it's a jump ball between Terrifier and Season of the Witch. So 2 and 3 is changes by the day. I can watch either Terrifier or Season of the Witch, flip flop.
So
Um, and then Carpenter's Halloween, and then five is rough. I don't know that Haunt I watched the other night was surprisingly good. That was surprisingly good. Um, Technically, House of a Thousand Corpses is a Halloween movie. It doesn't seem like it is, but I think it takes place on it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. They we'll go with Haunt for fifth place for now. But um, like as long as Halloween has to actually be in it. Wow, you killed it, huh?
I'm about to. So
Look
as
at
long
that.
as
My list has pushed you over the edge, huh? That's all it took. You're like, I can't believe you put Carpenter's Halloween fourth, you son of.
what else? Since I figure we'll finish the stream by the time I finish
You wrap
this.
her up. You do another shot. Give me a.
I mean, if you're okay with that, Don,
You go right ahead.
because I'll finish this like I'll finish this
While
and
we're
then
discussing it.
if you're yeah while we're discussing this. So
Yeah.
you know I'll start with my number one, and I think many people that follow my channel, I know you probably know my number one, and I'm a cheater. Number one is tied. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. That's my number one. Um, the
Are
mainline
those
universe.
Halloween? Are those Halloween movies though? Like, are they?
No, I'm talking like horror
Oh,
movies.
horror and just in general
Yeah,
in
in
life. You
general.
mean like, yeah, yeah, I gotcha. Okay, yeah.
In general, horror movies. That's my favorite. Those are my favorite horror movies. That's my number one is Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Um, and then two is Universal Monsters, the main line. Um, I have, I mean, that's just the main line of Universal Monsters.
Yeah.
I really love Creature from the Black Lagoon. As anybody who follows my channel, obviously I talk about it all the time. But that main line, like Dracula, Wolfman, like those original monsters are my
Yeah,
favorites.
the original core.
Yeah. Um, three, I'd have to say is oddly enough is The Thing.
Oh wow.
Not Halloween, but The Thing is probably my third favorite. Fourth, it's hard because I kind of fluctuate. I kind of fluctuate between, and I might get criticism for this, Jason 7 and Halloween. There's sometimes where Halloween, Carpenter's original 78 Halloween is like, it's like right there, and it's hard for me. I can't put that ahead of the legacy that is Universal Monsters or the legacy of Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, you know? So that's,
Yeah.
you know, but it is what it is and what it created. But I really love the thing a lot.
Rob
And
says that Halloween wouldn't be in his top five.
oh,
Sean's taking off. You take it easy, buddy.
Sean, take it
Uh,
easy, man.
Russell's gonna finish his joint. That a boy. um,
Well, as he's
um,
finishing that, I'm gonna finish my last
yeah.
drink here.
Uh, Rob and Nanette left in the chat. What are your what's your faves? You got a couple. What's your top three? Or if you want to go with all five, go ahead. That's some typing though. But Nanette likes Tales of Halloween. I like Tales of Halloween. Um,
Trick or Treat
trying to
is
think of
definitely Trick or Treat is
as far
definitely in there, like in my top 10.
as far as Halloween themed is the point though. Like if
Oh,
it has to take place on Halloween or
number one.
have Halloween in it. Yeah.
Number one
That
would be Halloween, and then number two would be Trick or Treat.
trick or treat.
That's easy for me.
I personally like Terrifier 1 more than Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2 is a better made movie, but it's once again like 2 hours and 20 minutes or some shit. Like, why is Terrifier so long?
So, so that was the thing I was going to say when you mentioned Terrifier. So I've only seen part two.
Oh,
It's
okay.
again, it's one of
Uh,
those things. It's one of those things where like I see Art the Clown everywhere, and I see so many people celebrate him so much, where I'm just kind of like, okay. But then, and I'm going to give a shout out to the Quiet One. She's super awesome. If y'all haven't checked her out, check her out. She's a
you
huge
will.
fan of Art. She's a huge Art the Clown fan,
Yeah, the
and
Terrifier Queen.
yeah, and she's the one that like was like really like if you want to talk about a pusher, she's a real like you got to check out Terrifier too. So I watched it because it was on Prime, and then I was just like, I didn't like it. Um,
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend watching it if you hadn't seen Terrifier 1, because you kind of need to pick up. It'd be like watching Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street 2 without ever seeing 1. Like you could, but you're kind of missing the building block you need to enjoy it, you know?
okay, see that was the thing. So my biggest complaint for two, and don't get me wrong, like I love the score, the effects, and it's shot really well, all that stuff. My biggest complaint is that I don't know his motivation. I don't understand.
Oh, Terrifier?
Yeah, I don't understand arts. Like to me, it's too mean spirited. Like Jason, I know his motivation. Freddy, I know his
What?
motivation.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
like
that's what I mean.
what
You got to
is
see the first one. I
okay?
mean, it
So
doesn't really explain. It doesn't explain his motivation, but at least there's a whole build up and whatever. Like that's the point. Jumping in on the second one, you can't. I mean, you can. It stands alone, but it's not. Yeah, you kind of need to see that first one. It's like seeing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 without seeing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1. Like you kind of need the first building block to really get the thing. Um, and one, I don't know, one has some amazing scene in it that I can't talk about if nobody's seen it. That's like the part that blew me away was a spoiler. So, and no,
okay.
not the chainsaw scene. Um,
So yeah,
let's see here.
then based off of your information, Don, I'll definitely have to check it out. Like I said, it's one of those things where like I kept seeing it, and then the cool thing is I'm like, okay, well, it's not just who Terrifier 1 and 2. It's actually okay. He is in a movie called All Hallows Eve, so I'm like, okay, so there's more to
Yeah.
it. It's just one of those things
Um,
where like jumping into two, I was just like, I don't know,
well,
I
I would
just
I would even recommend. I watched the first Terrifier. Well, basically, I had seen the All Hallows Eve movies advertised, and those are anthologies.
hmm
Um, One of them is good, and one of them's kind of sucky. I think one is good and two is sucky, or is the other way around? The one that has the aliens isn't good. I can't remember. Whatever. Not important. Those are relatively not important movies. Terrifier is decent on its own. It's pretty damn good, but it's very gritty. Like it's it feels like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It feels like 16 millimeter grainy blood. Like it feels like a science film or some crap. But it looks 80s cheapo. Like it is a lot of grain. Is the word that keeps coming to mind. Like it feels like there's texture to it. Um, but yeah, some of the stuff after you watch it, we can talk about it. There was one part in it that just it was kind of a horrible, gruesome slasher movie, and then something went down, and I kind of just stopped and sat up, and I was like, I don't think you're allowed to do that. And ever since then, that's like the part that got me with it. But Art the Clown is like Sam or a bunch of these other characters where his visual look grabs you. Like Echo just got done watching Killjoy, and Killjoy sucked. The first one, it's it's like a 3 out of 10. It's mediocre at best. But Killjoy, the mask, the makeup, and everything, the clown, that's a cool character. It grabs you. So he ends up getting like 9 sequels because of it. Even though that
what's
first one sucks.
what's like it's like Ghostface.
But Ghostface, though, I guess they couldn't get sued because it's public domain. But isn't that what's his name? Edward Munch or whatever, the Scream or whatever, the guy on the bridge with the famous painting.
Yeah, the Starry Nights or whatever. Is that what it is? No, not the Starry Nights.
It's a
No.
different one. Yeah, the I think it's called the Scream, or is it the Shriek? The Scream, right? And it's the same thing. It's just the guy with the like, oh no, he
Yeah.
looks like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. um, but
I'm surprised John Hughes didn't get sued for that.
Man says art is only in the first one. Okay, so yeah, the that first one. But I would recommend just jumping in on Terrifier, um, and checking it out sometime. It's decent. Ghostface is fun though. The Ghostface is fun though because it reminds me of Giallo roots. It's got mystery to every one of them. So the mask works to hide who's underneath. As we're like with Michael and Jason, we know what's under the mask, some sort of monster, you know.
Well, see, that's the thing, man. That's where I might get a lot of flack because I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's like I'm not a Scream fan. I saw the first one. I was like, and that's the thing. My I mentioned him before. My buddy who's like showed me all these different obscure horror movies that I was just like, oh wow, man, like he loves that movie, and I don't know, I just couldn't get into it, And then I saw the second one. Jada
Scream.
Pinkett got what she deserved at the beginning of the movie, and I couldn't,
You
you
just turn
know.
it off right then. After Jada Pinkett gets killed, just shut her off. Good movie.
Why is the part two was better than the first one? It's like, oh, you saw the whole thing. I was like, no, just that first beginning part of it. No, joking aside, like I don't know, man. Again, it's just one of those things where like I saw because it was on Max over the summer, So I was like, okay, well, let me watch it again and give it a try, and I couldn't get into it. And I see all these people. I've met Neve Campbell, and I've met like some of the people from it, and I just can't get into it, you know. I feel like it's just I don't understand what everybody's seeing. It's the same with art, but at the same time, I saw part two, so that maybe that's my problem is I saw part two, and it's just like for me, it's just like too mean spirited. Whereas, and I don't notice the motivation. I don't know. That's what I got from part two.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to kill like all these people, but then you're going to leave like this one person completely like mutilated and disfigured? It's like just kill them. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to kill everybody, just kill everybody.
Look at you, is psychopath. Russell says, "Oh no, it's Dick Shark. Dick Shark is terrifying."
Is it
Um,
is it as bad as Velocipastor?
oh, I'm sure it's much worse. Uh, um, anyways, yeah. Well, I think this was a good exercise in Halloween viewing, and very productive. I wanted to make sure I got this one done before I was shutting her down. So I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate everybody in the chat joining us. I still see
Yes.
Mayan
Thank
and Nan and Russell, and I think Rob's probably still lurking around. But otherwise, it's so late. Everybody else got to go to bed, and I do too. So I thank you, Larry, my friend, Horror Cat Dad. I want to shake your hand. I want to shake your hand, buddy. And congratulations on your two concurrent nominations for YouTube Entertainer of the Month and YouTube Horror Tuber of the Month. I get all my terms confused. You're the Meryl Streep of YouTube. You're out here with winding up the award shows.
I
So
don't really, like I'm gonna be like that one lady that never won a daytime soap opera
oh,
award or whatever.
Susan Lucci.
Yeah. Yes.
Susan
I'm
Lucci.
I'm gonna I'm
Yeah.
gonna be I'm gonna be that, and I'm fine with that. You know.
I keep telling people that's the hustle. Not winning is the way to go because then every month somebody has to make like a video. It's like, hey, you want to be in next month? It's like, yeah, please promote me to all your friends. It's like once you win, you're eliminated from the island. It's like Survivor or something. It's like shit.
I was like, get off, get off. No, honestly, guys, everybody that's in the chat, like, thank you so much for
Yeah,
everything.
May, Russell, all these awesome people. So
You know,
many
thank
cool folks.
thank y'all for checking out my channel. Thank for one getting my man Don. That was the main thing, Don. When you got nominated for, I was like, you know what, you're gonna win October, man. Like I told
Oh,
you, I was like, we
there's
we
a
gotta
miracle.
I was like, I told you, I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna push, and I'm gonna tell
People
my
don't
people, I'm like,
understand the electoral power of the juggernaut Jennifer Tochi. All right, Tochi, Tochi, Tochi.
that
I
was the
want to
thing.
be dirty. Oh, sorry. Uh,
No, I mean, honestly, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for checking out the stream. there's 12 people on here, 17 likes. I'm super, super. Thank you. Thank you so much. And
Awesome people.
Don, thank you
And
for having me on, man. Like
oh,
always.
you're a staple of the channel. You're one of the cornerstones around here. You're the Goulsville Ghoul Gang vice president, or I'm the vice president, or something. All right, brother. Well, everybody, you have a good weekend and a happy spooky season to all. Good night, everyone. I love y'all very, very much. Big fist pump and daps to you and yours. And good night. Be safe out there, my friends.
I'll take it easy.